morning, everyone, and thank you all for coming out and joining us this morning as we kick off our newest campaign, Hung Out to Dry. Currently, we're at the bargaining table and focused on getting a collective agreement for our members. And we are hopeful we're nearly there. But a contract is just a very important first step to retaining registered nurses and nurse practitioners in this province. Registered nurses and nurse practitioners have been holding our province's healthcare system together for way too long. They've been showing up, exhausted, saving lives, and jumping over never-ending hurdles for years. And regardless of RNU's work to tirelessly push for change, to insist that things must get better before it gets worse, to warn against a crisis in healthcare, and to clearly articulate the vital role and value of registered nurses and nurse practitioners and what they bring to the system, we find ourselves here today, still waiting for things to improve. RNs and NPs are frustrated, exhausted, defeated, and ready to leave. So many are leaving the profession and our province every day, and the rest are seriously considering it. Can you imagine a public healthcare system without registered nurses and nurse practitioners? It's impossible. The system crumbles. RNs are the only nursing professionals who can care for an unstable patient. NPs are required to stabilize healthcare and provide much needed primary healthcare to the thousands of residents going without. The value our membership brings to the system is immeasurable. Our members are needed in every aspect, every nook and cranny of this healthcare system, in order for it to operate at any level. But right now the system and our RNs and NPs are just barely surviving, and they are nowhere near thriving. Which means while NPs and RNs are struggling, patient care is suffering. Everything and everyone is spread too thin. We've seen a recent collaboration from government around their investment in healthcare. But where are the long-term solutions? Where is the strategy to create a system where vital healthcare professionals feel valued? We all deserve to operate in a stable, effective, efficient, and safe healthcare system. Registered nurses, nurse practitioners, and patients. But as of now, registered nurses and nurse practitioners are hung out to dry. We are in crisis, and our members are feeling abandoned and left to face challenges alone. Things are desperate, and it's time to not leave healthcare hung out to dry. It is time to act. Did you know that registered nurses and nurse practitioners in Newfoundland and Labrador are the lowest paid in the country? Hung out to dry. Did you know that 40% of our membership is leaving the profession? Hung out to dry. Did you know that we continue to have approximately 750 nursing vacancies in this province? Jobs no registered nurse or nurse practitioner feel they can fill because the system is so unstable. Hung out to dry. Did you know that registered nurses and nurse practitioners face countless acts of workplace violence every day? Hung out to dry. And did you know that registered nurses and nurse practitioners are still working 16 to 24-hour shifts? Would you want to work 24 hours? Would you want to be the patient with the registered nurse who's on their 23rd hour of work, hung out to dry. Did you know that there have been millions upon millions of dollars spent on private agency nurses here in Newfoundland and Labrador over this past 2 years, making 2 to 3 times the wages and benefits of our members, demoralizing for our members as they work alongside them, being the lowest paid in this country, hung out to dry. These millions of dollars need to be invested in the people who are here holding our system together, and investing in the people of Newfoundland and Labrador, and a publicly funded healthcare system that is maintained. We are demanding that there be more effort and funding put into retention. We must protect our nurses. We must give them a reason to stay. And we must show them that they are valued and respected for what they bring to the system. We must create a system that works. How can we recruit nurses from around the globe and expect them to stay here if we don't do it for our very own? This province is bleeding nurses, hemorrhaging RNs and NPs, and we can't afford to lose not one more. We can't afford to leave them hanging any longer. Don't hang RNs and NPs out to dry. Don't hang our healthcare system out to dry. I'd like to invite Maria Young to speak to you now about the importance of this campaign and give you a sense of what it's like to be a registered nurse in our healthcare system today. Maria?
Thank you, Yvette, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this today. As a registered nurse working and living in Newfoundland and Labrador, I can tell you that we all feel hung out to dry. I am on the front line of healthcare, and I see what is happening in our system every single day. I see the lack of resources, the impacts that this nursing shortage is having on patient care, and I see my fellow RNs and NPs suffering what's still showing up. Right now, so many of us feel ready to give up. We feel undervalued, we feel disrespected, and we feel unseen. We are tired and frustrated. We are being forced to sacrifice so much. We have no work-life balance. We face countless challenges and unrealistic expectations, and we are spread way too thin. Many of us are working long shifts to ensure patient care remains our top priority, and yet we can't provide the best possible care because there just isn't enough of us to do so. The system is broken. I'd like to share with you an example of what it's like to work as a registered nurse in a broken system. I worked in a hospital in this province on a medicine unit, and at the end of every single shift, I left feeling like I didn't do enough for the patients that I was caring for. Hair was left unwashed, dentures left unbrushed, nails not cut, not being able to have a meaningful conversation with someone who is unwell, and not being able to support upset family members. There just wasn't enough time. And these are just a few small but important things that I wasn't always able to do. It was impossible to provide the care that people deserved. So I left bedside nursing, which I absolutely loved, because I couldn't manage the anguish and the guilt of not being enough for the patients that I served. We can't continue on like this. We need to feel valued and respected, not only as professionals, but as human beings. We have lives and we have limits. And there are options for RNs and NPs where we can find that balance. But we want
and imagery online and around your communities. We welcome anyone and everyone to wear a clothespin in solidarity with registered nurses and nurse practitioners. And we encourage our members to hang your uniforms on the line and share pictures on social media. There are ways for everyone to join in this campaign and help save our healthcare system and retain our vital registered nurses and nurse practitioners.